See me in a second.
Okay,
How you doing, Elizabeth?
fine.
All right. So what do we got?
Hey,
who- who-
they have a computer and they think someone's here.
Oh yeah.
Stop!
Yeah. That won't make for a great interview. Why don't you go take care of that?
Over here.
What you did you hit the mute button? What happened?
There we go. Now it's better.
All right. Yeah. What'd you hit the mute button? How'd that happen? How'd you quiet them? Can you hear me?
No, I can barely hear for some reason. Let me see how to do this.
Is your volume turned all the way up?
Yeah, mine it is. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay, cool. Let me turn, maybe if I put my fan on. I'm like not prepared, I guess.
It's all right. All right, come on over here. All right, Elizabeth, let's just get this going. So, why don't you just give me a quick introduction? Just tell me your name, your age, and where you're originally from.
I am Elizabeth Sunling and 35 years old, and I'm originally from Lincoln, Nebraska.
All right, so when did you get out to Vegas, and what brought you there?
We moved out here in February of 2010. We came out here because, well, we wanted to get out of Nebraska, number one, and we're like poker players, so we wanted to be able to play poker.
Okay, who's we? Who are the poker players?
Me and my husband.
All right. Are you guys in the mix? Like, how's that been? You've been there 3 years. How often do you play? Is that something you're really into?
Well, that's the thing, is like, we haven't even played that much since we've been here, but Vegas just recently gave us online gambling, online poker. So now, for the last few months, we've been playing all the time online.
Wait, what do you mean? You can, because I know you can't do it nationally anymore. I used to play in Full Tilt and all that, but how does it work in Vegas?
So it's the same thing. It's almost just like Full Tilt, because I used to be on Full Tilt too. It's almost exactly the same. It's not as, I don't think it's as crazy as Full Tilt was, and of course the amount of money that's on the actual website isn't as big,
Yeah.
because it's not as many people. But I think it's slowly picking up pace.
All right, I didn't realize that even happened. Well, what's the name of it? Are you there? Oh no, it froze.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, good. Yeah, it just froze for a second, but you're back. Sorry. Yeah, what's the name of it?
It's called ultimatepoker.com.
But you can only play it if you live in Vegas?
Only if you live in Vegas, yeah. And it's kind of cool. Well, it's really cool because too, you can win like seats into different, stuff going down the strip and stuff like that. And you can get seats into their WSOP, and they give away like staycations, which is really cool. You get to stay because you can pretend to be on vacation.
Have you played in any World Series of Poker events since you've been out there?
So
Nah. Got to get that money together, huh?
yeah, I wish.
Yeah, I played in one in 2010. I played one $1,500 event. I played through the dinner break. I finished around 400th out of 2,700, but I lost my money, so.
Oh no, that's good though. But geez, 400 doesn't pay out still, huh?
Nah, top 270 paid. I was 400. Yeah.
No, it's so close though.
It's okay. And it was like 45 minutes later. It was like flying at that point, so it happened so fast. And anyhow. Okay, so you moved out there to play poker and all that. What do you do out there now?
Right now I do dog grooming. I do bathing. Mostly I picked that job up so that I could have the flexibility to get my daughter where she needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
She's a student at Las Vegas Academy, so that's the performing arts studios up here. I'm sorry, the schools. And then she's involved in a lot of dance, and we just picked up an agent for her, trying to get her some acting stuff going. So I just need that open flexibility, and so that's why I ended up doing it. But the great thing is that I found this place, and I only found it like a month ago. And these women are like badass down there too. They're all like sleeved up, and they like dye the dogs with mohawks and things like that. So I fit it perfectly. It was great.
Nice. Yeah, I watched your daughter. That one clip you sent of her dancing. She looked great.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she works really, really hard, and she's been doing it since she was 2.
Cool.
And that was part of the reason we kind of chose Vegas also to get her somewhere bigger.
Okay.
Because she's just so talented, so pretty. Just.
So, Elizabeth, what kind of stage mom are you?
I try to keep my tongue, bite my tongue.
Yeah.
I'm very competitive, and it's all. I try not to be too bad, but I do get competitive, because my daughter's always the prettiest and she's always the best.
All right, now look, I watch. So you think you can dance? So I know dance a little bit, and I even watch Dance Moms. Okay, so I've seen what's the potential out there. I mean, is it as crazy as that looks at Dance Moms? Is it like that?
It's not as crazy as far as them talking back and forth to each other like that, but it's just a whole lot more backstabbing and stuff going on. Like just moms talking behind the other mom's backs and stuff. There's never usually confrontation, and especially to the dance instructors, there would never be any type of relationship like that.
Right.
To where you could yell at the dance instructor. But between the moms, you can see the competitiveness, and you can also tell like when they're talking behind your back, and if they have cliques, and I never fit in either because I have tattoos all over the place.
So are you a little bit like you're on the outs there with some of the other moms and stuff, and the other women? Is that how it is?
I don't know if they're out, but they just don't like us. I guess we don't talk because you can feel the tension in the room when you walk in there. It's just like immediate. Like oh my gosh, what is she doing here?
How pissed would they be if we had a camera following you around too, and then that was that?
No, that would be awesome, actually. For me, not for them.
Yeah, for you, they'd be a little jealous and unhappy. I'll tell you right now.
Not happy at all.
So, can you give me just share like one story maybe of like what happens there with the women? Have you ever gotten into an argument with any of the women over anything? Give me like one example of some shenanigans.
Well, actually, we were with this ballet studio, and Angelica really got a lot of talent out of that ballet studio. Like she really grew so much as a dancer. And one, I don't know what this lady's problem was, but like her daughter and her were obsessed with my kid, and they would like take video of Angelica during class, and then in the car going home, they would show the video of Angelica dancing to other students and like laugh out or whatever. And it ended up like she sent an email into the dance instructor saying that my daughter is like a mind controller and that she makes all the girls not like her little girl and whatever, And so ever since after that, we weren't there very much longer after that. We still go there like occasionally just to pick up lessons, and it's still there. It's like I don't know what it is about this little girl, but she's obsessed with my kid. I don't know what it is.
Okay, so you said you're not really like some of the other moms. You're all tatted up and stuff like that. Just tell me, it's kind of a weird question, but give me an idea of like your personality, who you are as a person. What can we expect to see from you?
Well, I like to say that I'm laid back.
Yeah.
But I'm a little bit feisty, I guess. And so I'm kind of laid back, and I really try to like keep that image of being laid back. But honestly, like just an hour ago, I flew up at some lady at the grocery store. She told me to shut up, and I think it's because honestly, I think it's because it's 110 degrees out here. And so
Right.
I was just really heated. My motorcycle was really hot, and when I got off, I was like arguing with the guy at the bank, and she had some smart to say, and I don't know, I went off. But I try to keep my cool and seem pretty, laid back and whatever.
All right.
But you still gotta be strong, so
Okay.
you gotta shoot that part.
So you mentioned the motorcycle. Who rides? Where do you ride? Who do you ride with?
I ride just whatever every day to work and back. My husband rides some. We're getting him a bike, and then I also ride the Genevicia. She's kind of got me hooked up with this motorcycle as well. So we're pretty close. I see her at least 3 to 4 times a week, but we don't always ride. We hang out. We go downtown, and we just chill.
Okay. Where I assume this is your house. Do you live in a house? Where do you live?
I live on Sahara Rancho. It is right off of the 15, right next to the strip, right next to downtown. We ended up with this crazy foreclosure, and my husband and I had this great idea. We're like, yes, we're going to get this house. We're going to fix it up like Bob Vila and the missus, it was going to be be
Right.
great. And yeah, a year and a half later, we're down the floors now. Though we've ended up we've done all of the ceilings, all of the walls, everything, and now we're down to the floors and then of course the landscaping outside. But
All right.
so it's a pretty badass house. It's like an old characteristic type of Vegas house, but it's just not done yet. The people that owned it before us went to foreclosure and they just murdered it.
Okay. So, you mentioned, riding the bike and doing a lot with your daughter. What else are you into? Like, what do you do in your spare time? Your family, what do you guys like to do?
So we do a lot of different things. Even the family will go downtown. We go out to the mountains, take driving. Me and my husband like to go down to play some whatever at the station casinos around here because they love locals. During football season, we're big football fans. We do sports betting during the season. With Angel, she's a teenager. It's hard to say. I sometimes let her friends have people over and they do their little teenage party stuff. And like to go swimming and stuff like that. Outdoors. Cheap, anything cheap.
Do you have other kids?
Nope, that's it. Just her. My dogs. I got 2 dogs.
Okay. So as far as with the dancing stuff and all that, how time consuming is dance? How much a part of your life is it? I know it's a big deal, so how much of it?
That's why I have a hard time coming up with what do I do outside of time, because honestly it really takes up my time. At this point we're at a slow point because school ended and Joga went on vacation right after a talent show that she did on the 24th. She did a talent show at the station casinos, and after that, now it's like a slow period. I don't even know what to do with myself. But when she gets back, she's going back at least 6 hours a night, or 6 hours a week in dance. And then she's also doing summer school right now, so that keeps her super busy. And then, just trying to work on her acting. That's the thing, is that we tried to get her an agent, and they told her that she needed a little bit more on-camera acting experience.
Okay. Okay, as far as who you hang out with, who your crew is, you mentioned Genevicia, and I don't know if you know, but I actually was the first person to interview Genevicia for Bad Girls Club way back when. So, that
I didn't know that you were the first person to know. She did say that she knows you, and so I was like, oh, that's crazy that I happened to just see it on Craigslist. And she's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, I literally was the first person that interviewed her for any of these shows, so I'm the one who brought her into it. I don't know if I get any credit for anything, but I did.
You get kudos for that.
I should get some kudos. But so besides her, what's your crew like? For my bosses who don't know, Genevicia was on Bad Girls Club, so I'm just saying that so they could hear this in the video. But now you tell me, what's your crew like?
Well, you know what? I don't have a whole lot of people that I hang out with other than I'm really talkative to whoever's there. I do have a friend of ours that we end up going to his house quite a bit. His name is Tyler Hunter. He's actually the Elvis impersonator for $1 Million Quartet, and he just happens to be from our hometown and happens to be friends with my husband's mother. And so when he came up to Vegas, we hooked up with him, and so that's somebody that we kind of hang out with lately more, and then I worked in pharmacy before that, so I was hanging out with some pharmacy people.
Okay. All right. So last thing, really, Elizabeth, and it's pretty simple. I just have a few questions for you. So, if we were to, take a camera and follow you around for a couple months, and it's fine if a lot of it's based on your daughter and the things there, but what do you think we might see if we followed you for, let's say, 2 months to, a little slice of life? What are we gonna see?
You're gonna see a lot of maybe teenage drama and a lot of arguing with my daughter, getting her back and forth to dance classes, and me and the husband just trying to find time to relax and wind down.
Do you and your girl?
Very fast-paced, crazy. Every day is on the go, go, go. That's what I feel like. Not enough. I actually ended up having one of my friends at one point come up trying to help me deal with it. She's like, I don't even know how you deal, going back and forth, especially during the school year. It's just taking her to school, me going to work, getting her back, getting her to dance, then filling out for talent shows and getting her to auditions. And so that's what I do a lot of.
So you guys, obviously she's a teenager. There's going to be some, back and forth. Do you guys get into it sometimes, you and her?
Oh yeah. And she's just as stubborn as me. So there's a lot of yelling back and forth. We've tried to tone it down a little bit, but you know what? It's funny because when my daughter gets any type of anxious, if she gets scared or she's like sad, she turns like evil, mean. She's just mean. So that, and then it ends up becoming an argument because I'm like, why do you have to be so mean all the time? Like, what's wrong with you? Just do it. You know, and she always has excuses and whatever. So.
Who did she get that from, Mom?
I don't know. She's more stubborn than I am.
All right. So, as far as the Strip itself, you said you live right there. You're very close to it. Like, how often do you guys go into the casinos and do that sort of thing?
Well, I mean, you live in Vegas, you can't avoid casinos at all. So we go into the casinos. Anytime we go out, we're probably going into a casino. We don't go to the Strip, though. A lot of times, any bars or casinos we hang out with are local friendly. Like, they have a station casinos is what they're called, and there's, I don't know, I would say like 10 or 12 of them around the whole city, and they have different promotions and stuff that are going for, you know, just to help locals out. You know, the locals are winning. I ended up winning like $1,000 across the street from my house, that,
nice.
you know, like a couple months ago. So that's usually where we go out. And then if not, we don't go to like, we will go downtown to those East Fremont Street. I know you've heard of Fremont Street with the big canopy and all that.
Yeah.
Well, they were like revamping downtown Vegas, and East Fremont Street has a bunch of brand new bars that opened up.
Yeah.
So, and it's just mostly bars. Of course, there's gaming because there's always gaming no matter where you go. But it's like also just like dance bars, karaoke bars. I'm a karaoke singer. I guess I didn't tell you that either. I'm a karaoke singer, so I gotta do that too.
Okay. And what's your husband like?
My husband's really quiet and patient and kind of reserved. He kind of keeps to himself more and plays. He can play a game for hours. That's what makes him such a swell poker player. He can sit there for hours on end and just play.
So do you wear the pants then?
I think people say I do. I say he does. I'm trying to, you know, I want to be the guy that wears the pants, but a lot of people say I do.
All right. All right. Well, hey, I think that's it. So easy as pie. All right. Literally, all we're doing right now is trying to just get a feel for you and what we might see if we come. And I think your angle is, you know, with your daughter mostly, you know, in that kind of angle. And that's cool because dance moms and all that other stuff, it's kind of hot. So it could work for us, you know. So I'm going to show this video to my boss by tomorrow. And hopefully we're going to let people know early next week if we're interested. If we are interested in you guys, we're going to come to Vegas in a couple weeks just to meet you in person and like maybe do a short little film session, a show to TLC. We're going to probably film maybe like 10 people, and the 6 that they like best, if they like it, then we'll talk to you about going to a series. But one step at a time, let's see my boss like you first, and if he likes you and your storyline, you'll know about it by next week, okay?
Okay, cool.
All right, before you hang up, can you just tell me best phone number and email to reach you at?
702-370-7781.
Okay.
And email is lizsund@gmail.com. LAZSUND@gmail.com.
Gmail. And is that your last name?
My last name is Sundling. SUNDLING.
One more time. S-U-N-E?
SUND as in David, LING.
Got it. All right, Elizabeth. Well, hey, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And say hi to Genovese for me, all right?
I will. Thank
All right.
you.
Hopefully we talk to you next week.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.